we will have some introduction of our participants.
My name is Ankit Tyagi, sir. I am working with Mr. Naveen Munjal. I am executive assistant to Mr. Naveen Munjal. So it's been 7 years with the Hero Electric Group. I am working with him as a data analyst. Before I was working with him in the international markets, I was a finance manager of A2B, where they were selling electric bikes. Now I'm working with him in the India division.
Great.
Thank you, sir.
Nice. Thank you, Mr. Ankit, for taking up this time. Mr. Segal Trivedi.
Good morning, everybody. I'm the director at Pluto Travels India Private Limited. We are a Pune-based premium car rental company. We have our offices in Pune, Mumbai, as well as we are servicing Whitefield at Marriott at Bangalore. And we are really keen on looking forward on the e-vehicle market that's coming up, because that will be a big blessing to our basically the transport facility that we provide to all our corporates.
You're in Bombay, madam?
Yes, I have we are based in Pune, sir, and we have our offices in Pune and Mumbai.
Okay, okay.
And Bangalore, we are servicing the Whitefield Marriott. We have our office there as well. Our team sits at the Whitefield Marriott.
Oh, good, good, good. So we have a friend now in Pune.
Yes, sir. You can count on us.
Yes. Okay. Yes, sir. Next, anybody else? Jishnu, Dr. Aravind T.S., Harish, anyone, please introduce yourselves. Hello? Jishnu? Dr. Aravind?
Shall I start or we should wait for 2 more minutes? Rajiv? You're muted, I think. Your voice is not audible.
Okay, so we begin the webinar. Okay, we begin the webinar. Good morning, everybody. I hope all of you all are doing fine and kicking. So can we just can we let's say a hello, everyone. Can you off your mic and say hello?
Hello, hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello, nice, sir. Nice, sir. That's very nice of you. That we are all active and our mics are, all our mics are being heard also. Okay. So now, why we chose this webinar? You know, all of you are aware that all of you are aware that the vehicle EV segment is really catching up very high. And just to introduce to you, Supraji, a short introduction. We are actually a training organization having about 25 years of training experience. So we have been in training for the last 25 years, and here we have been always doing managerial effectiveness programs for companies. And since we were doing this managerial effectiveness programs for companies, we also understood gradually the technical need which companies have and the niche skills what companies do require. And so gradually we graduated ourselves into technical training. And here I take this great privilege to introduce to you Mr. Hari Vasudevan. Mr. Hari Vasudevan carries with him about 25 years of EV experience. Was working in various organizations. To mention one of it was the Reva Electric, and moved on to become the co-founder of Vaidyuti Mobility Private Limited at Bommasandra, Hosur Road, Bangalore.
What do you want?
Mr. Hari is a mechanical engineer, and right from his college days, engineering college days, has been developing electric vehicles. Various automobiles. Now, if you visit his factory in Bommasandra, you will find that it is an every moment innovation center. There are a lot of, he's got about 4 or 5 vehicles there, 3 or 4 are getting ready, and every time it's an innovation. And this 3-wheeler segment is one area which is really catching up. The 3-wheeler segment is really catching up, and the future is going to be in the 3-wheeler segment. And it can be the passenger, it can be the cargo. Now, it is very interesting to understand the various facets of a 3-wheeler. Now, with this little bit of introduction, I leave the session to Mr. Hari Vasudevan, who is on a mission to make a near perfection 3-wheeler EV. And in his every moment innovation center, I'm repeating, it's an every moment innovation center. Sir, with this, I don't take much of the time between you and the audience. You may please take over.
Thank you so much, Rajiv. Am I audible to everybody?
Yes, sir. You're audible, sir.
Yeah. A very warm, good Sunday morning to all of you. So this webinar is all about my 25 years of journey in electric vehicle industry. What I have done in the last 25 years to what I'm doing right now. And like Rajiv said, how we are creating a near perfect, I'm not telling it's absolutely perfect, but near perfect electric vehicle. Let me share the screen. 1 second.
Attending a meeting.
Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I did my BSc in Physics, B in Mechanical Engineering, and MTech in Product Design and Manufacturing. I'm currently running 2 companies. One is Prime Design Consultancy Services, which do consulting job for EV manufacturing companies. Plus, last year we founded this company called Vaidyuti Mobility, and now a complete focus is on Vaidyuti Mobility to create the most amazing electric vehicles possible. I'm trying to use the screen. Yeah. So my experience in the field of electric vehicles is over 24 years. That too in new vehicle development, new product designs, in manufacturing and sales of electric vehicles. I founded a company called Ostrich Mobility Insurance Private Limited, and successful making it the largest electric wheelchair manufacturing company in India. I've designed over 44 products there in 10 years, filed over 80 patents. Recently, for Vaidyuti Mobility Private Limited. Let me take you 26 years back to 1996. Why I'm showing is because my journey started from 1996. This was my college curriculum project. I didn't wait it for 8th semester to come, but I completed my project in 7th semester. That is why I want to show this. Then what I did in 8th semester is something completely different. I don't know what to do, so I thought I'll make a car. So this car I made in 1997, and I used this car to go to college for almost 3 months. It was a petrol-driven car. Even though it's a petrol car, this has got a starter of Ambassador. So I was actually driving it like an electric vehicle because it's a 3 kilowatt motor that can easily drive a small vehicle. So this is the car which I designed when I was a student. And this took me to, and I arranged a launch in front of the college. And we had a nice time in 1997, the president of the college cutting the ribbon and, launching the car. And this was a day, I think, from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock, entire college was outside, along with me and the car. People were driving it, the president were driving, the principal was driving the car, the friends were driving the car. And when visitors come to college, I have to take the car and introduce them. That's the last 2 pictures that I'm introducing the car to a few of the visitors who came to the college. 1997 was my first press conference in my life, and it came in a lot of newspapers. I studied in Karnataka, so it basically entire newspaper covered the news of this car. Of course, it went across India. And college issued a certificate of one of its kind. This is what you're seeing on the right side of the screen. The public also honored me for making the car where I studied. The place name is Sulya in Karnataka. So those people honored me in the public meeting. Later, I modified this car and named it as Petunia. Earlier car was named as Pagonia. This named as Petunia, and then it's just because I got a chance to participate in Cochin Motor Show 1997, where Ford was supposed to come. That was empty, they didn't come, so they gave that space to me to keep my car, and it actually drawn a lot of crowd at that time. So this is the modified car with. So what I was talking is what Nano, when they came, what they were talking is exactly what I was talking in 1997 with this car design. From Exhibition Center, I directly joined the first electric car company in India, which is Eddy Automobiles in Kerala. And in the 2 years which I worked there, I worked on electric cycle, electric two-wheelers, electric three-wheelers, electric car. We converted, Maruti 800 to a hybrid vehicle, designed material handling equipments working on battery, rail carriages which are working on battery. 1999, I joined Reva Electric Car Company, which is the largest producer of that time electric cars in India. So here, even though everybody might have seen only an electric car, in prototype department we have up to bus. So in the 6 years from 1997 to 2003, I am fortunate to have all the kind of vehicles, right from the two-wheeler to wheelchair to three-wheelers to the car to the bus. I'm fortunate to have participated in designing all these kind of vehicles. When I joined Reva, I started innovating more in my personal time. So when I come back home, I started designing things like the left top corner is a compressed, is an engine working on a compressed air. The one on the right side of that is a small electronic, small vehicle where you can sit and drive. The lower portion is a three-wheeler. This was a light hybrid electric vehicle, and this project I presented to the managing director of Reva at that time, Mr. Chetan Maini. He told, Hari, we are making four-wheeler. Once that is over, we will think about this vehicle. And now I am very fortunate to have this vehicle done in my office. I'll take you there slowly, sure. 10 seconds that changed my life. It was the last meeting with Chetan Maini, the managing director of Reva. I'm leaving Reva for my MTech in product design and manufacturing. He asked me, Hari, what do you want to do 5 years from now? I told I want to run a car company like you. Then what he told is what I think changed my life. He told me, Hari, I know you have a lot of dreams, but you should work for it. And from there, I was just thinking, oh my God, I'm not working or not. So I joined, from there, I joined my MTech in product design and manufacturing. I again started designing new products. I was talking about big mobile phones with keypad, which you can open and type it, and workstation on wheelchair, jack working in car. Every time you find it very difficult to crank in the middle of the road, this is an electric jack. Then floor cleaning machine, solar trikes. These are all not part of my project. These are out of passion on designing things. I've done it during my MTech curriculum. But when it came to my project, I thought I would do something very unique and design something called a walker chair, and which is electric. This can be used as most of the people who are using walker will walk around the house with the walker, and they will not go out because the physical condition won't allow. So with this vehicle, you can straight away go to your garden, and if you are tired, you sit and come back in the form of a wheelchair. That was my MTech project. I showcased, again, it came, I do a lot of PR activities. So again, it came in, I think this is the Hindu newspaper. And I showcased this walker chair to doctors in Bangalore. One doctor asked me, Hari, why don't you make a wheelchair? So I made a wheelchair immediately. And like how I got a chance to participate in an exhibition when I made a car, I got another chance at Cochin to participate in a science exhibition with my wheelchair and the walker chair. It was a 4-day science exhibition. Second day, 3 people from my school came and asked me, Hari, why don't you come to my school? It'll be good for you. So after the exhibition, I went to the school with a lot of pride. But one look inside, I thought I'll cry aloud because I'm seeing 71 children, all disabled from the age of 2 to 15. It was a special school for them. They teach them routines, daily, how to maintain their daily life. Emotional rush, 3 thoughts came to my mind. The first thought was how lucky I am with everything functioning fine. Second thought was I'm supposed to join one of the largest automobile companies in India. I decided not to join. My third thought was to work for these children. That is how my whole idea of automobiles landed up into manufacturing of electric wheelchairs. The lowest corner, right corner, is the first customer. He was 9-year-old at that time. In fact, I got 4 wheelchair orders from that school, and that's 4 wheelchairs you can see at the top right corner. He's my first customer, 9-year-old. He's now 26 or 27-year-old, still using my wheelchair. And if I showcase you one of the kids, for this particular kid, I designed a touchpad because he cannot use a joystick. You can see the excitement in his face when he got the wheelchair driving. He is lifted like that on the left side picture. He cannot sit by himself. He's being tied onto the wheelchair. These are the first moments of him moving by himself. When APJ came, he was sitting in the same kid is sitting in the wheelchair. Later, from 2004 to 2007, I think I have sold around 38 wheelchairs by joining hands with the engineering company in Bomasandra industrial area. So we sold almost 38 wheelchairs in Kerala itself from there. But in 2007, along with 4 of my friends, we founded this company called Ostrich Mobility. And there it is a history. These are the 4 iconic wheelchairs which India has ever seen. And these have wide, variety of technologies, which takes it to the top of the level of wheelchair technology. Later moved to the lower versions of wheelchairs. From there, we've moved to, hybrid, like scooters and wheelchairs in one kind of models. If you look at this blue color wheelchair on the bottom, it's all Indigo airline wheelchairs. Most of the corporates in India have purchased the wheelchairs designed by me. Custom made wheelchairs, like standing wheelchairs, seat lifting wheelchairs, tilting space wheelchairs. When enough is enough for wheelchairs in India, I moved towards designing hospital beds. I think 13 years back, I sold the first bed. Even now, there is not a single squeak in any of this bed, which we have supplied to hospitals. Different types of hospital beds. You can stand on the, literally stand on the bed, which is on the lower left corner. Filed 4 patents on technology. Designed or modified a wheelchair to a petty shop for self-employment of people with disability. I'm so fortunate that Chetan Mani, the managing director of REVA, bought 3 of this and given free of cost to people with disability. Even though I've designed so many different types of wheelchairs, the one which is most emotionally connected to me is this particular wheelchair, the wheelchair in this video. I got a call from Kerala. There is a boy who is 5-year-old and abandoned. He don't have hands and legs. They asked me, can you design a wheelchair for him? So I designed a wheelchair for him without even seeing the kid. And now for the last 8 years, he's going to the school. Let me run the video of that kid. He's a boy who do not have hands and legs. The background is the orphanage where he lives. And with the small limbs grown, he's driving the wheelchair. And I was just thinking how he's mentally preparing himself in the 20 days gap between he know that he's going to get a wheelchair. And when he got it, this is the second minute of him getting the wheelchair. It's a nice little boy. In 2018, I founded Prime Design Consultancy Services for contract designing and manufacturing, developing new technologies and manufacturing electric vehicles with new form factors. Of course, I want to earn money as well. So I was doing consulting job and getting money for my own different types of designs. So I designed almost 24 different types of electric vehicles just to understand what is the right vehicle for the Indian and the global market. If you look at this video, this is a typical 3-wheeler accident. This happened somewhere in Hyderabad, as I am right. But when I designed the 3-wheeler, this is how we tested it. This is an e-rickshaw with all human beings, no dummies. There is no harness, no helmet for safety. But you can see the terrain in which I'm driving the vehicle. You can see the wheel lift, but you cannot topple the vehicle. The first and foremost thing for a 3-wheeler is the safety. Everybody is afraid about the safety factor of a 3-wheeler. Here you can see the rollover test, the accident we are simulating with people. We are doing a rollover test. See the vehicle, you cannot topple this. This is exactly what happened, the instinct. See, this is exactly what happened with the particular 3-wheeler. But here you cannot topple. There are several reasons why you cannot topple. There are 9 engineering reasons why you cannot. This is overloaded with 6 people, but still you cannot topple the vehicle. So by making it not topple, we are making the vehicle absolutely safe. I've seen several accidents in 3-wheeler because of rolling. A lot of accidents has happened. So this is one big technology which we are bringing in, and a lot of patents we have filed, not just 10, we have filed 18 patents, which are soon coming into the 3-wheelers which we are making. I've told earlier, I presented a project report to Chetan Mani when I was working there at 3-wheeler. And now this is the first prototype I've made. You can see a typical use case. Instead of a 2-wheeler, how people can use a 3-wheeler for their safety, comfort, some kind of protection from sun, wind, rain, and dust. And, even this vehicle, you cannot topple. So it is absolutely safe. These are the prototypes. I told you I made almost 24, 25 different types of prototypes. These are few of those prototypes. These are narrow track vehicles. This track is very, very small, like 600 mm is a track of the rear wheel. There are a lot of chances for rolling of such low track vehicles, but with technology, we avoided rolling of these vehicles, making it absolutely safe. If you modify it in the form factor which you are seeing at the bottom, it becomes an amazing vehicle for online delivery, which you are going to see immediately. These are few designs which you have done for the three-wheelers, and these are for the quadricycle vehicles. I think now we need doors for the quadricycles, so I have to add the door also, the cargo and the passenger vehicle. There's a huge possibility with this 1200 watt motor. Every time we see where we go to a big campus, we see a golf cart. This way we can modify it with a 1200 watt. I made up to 6 seaters electric vehicles to replace their golf cart. For plantations and resorts, these kind of vehicles were tried out. These all made and then scrapped, for many reasons. For factories, for material handling, four-wheelers as well as, the bottom one is for carrying barrels, and the top one is for the distributed load. These are all possible with the L3 category vehicle motors. There's one dream project which we don't know when our rules are fit for this vehicle, we'll bring this vehicle out. This is a quadricycle vehicle. In Prime Design, I've designed a two-wheeler. This is an amazing two-wheeler which has a lot of new functionalities. Let us go through that video once. This is again a fully functional prototype. These are not perfected with the tooled up panels. It's all completely handmade vehicle. We have horizontal suspension for the first time. You can adjust the ride height by adjusting the seat height up to 100 mm, so that even a taller person or a shorter person can fit comfortably in the two-wheeler. We have a battery pack in this which can take it to 320 kilometers of drive range. I just named it as Cybercat. The making of this particular vehicle was very interesting. I started with started the design with a three-wheeler design. All of a sudden, we find we can make a two-wheeler out of the three-wheeler design. And if you closely watch, I quickly do prototypes. I'm very fast in doing prototypes. So I don't even sketch anything before designing because it all happens on the welding table. So if you count, you can see 29 designs before we finally getting that design.
We can't see the audio, video.
What is that?
Now we can.
8th June 2020, we started with this small frame design. And it was developing into every 3 days, the design was changing. In a record 3 months and 50 days, we could able to make this fully functional two-wheeler. I'm very fortunate to get an order from Tortoise INC California to design their autonomous delivery vehicle. The entire vehicle design is done by Prime Design, and the electronic side is designed by them. So this is the video of that particular vehicle I've designed. This is an autonomous delivery vehicle. I think we made almost 15 prototypes for them. This is at Bangalore. We have shot this video. You can control the vehicle sitting in US or sitting in Bangalore. You can control the vehicle in any part of the world. This was a trial run. In fact, the final prototype was much better than this and better than this. You can use your mobile phone to call the vehicle or take the delivery and send it back. That is the whole concept. They call it as tortoise wagon. Now, let me bring back from my 25 years of work to what we are doing now. Lot of scope for inventions in EV. Why? Just because we don't have a big engine sitting there. We don't have vibrations of the engine in an electric vehicle. It's absolute quiet, absolute silent technology. So the basic inventions will be happening majorly on the vehicle design and in the infrastructure design. The whole next 25, 26 slides is all about the three-wheeler which we have designed and what are the technologies we have brought in to make it a near perfect three-wheeler. I'm not talking about 100% perfection. It's impossible to achieve that, but at least to a level of 90% perfection. So when I talk about perfection, what is that I mean by perfection? It is about, okay, I'll go to the next slide and then I'll talk about what is that perfection we are talking about. So inventions in vehicle design, majorly in the innovations in mechanical systems, in electrical systems, in electronics, hardware and software systems, in IoTs, and in electrochemical systems like the batteries and the other things. So for the user, the entire thing will convert in the form of safety, comfort, reliability, efficiency, performance, aesthetics. So these are the near perfection which we are trying to: absolute safety, absolute comfort, absolute reliability, absolute efficiency, the maximum efficiency possible, amazing performance, and wonderful looks and feel of the vehicles. This is what we are trying to bring in the new trikes. We call it as trikes because we have a wide variety of three-wheelers in our office. So Vaididhi Mobility, when I talk about Vaididhi Mobility, we are relentlessly innovating and trying to manufacture the best of the tricycles. We find a lot of advantage for three-wheelers over the two-wheelers because it is safer than a two-wheeler. It is, and near comfort of a four-wheeler also can be brought in a three-wheeler. These are the reasons why we, even though we have two-wheeler designs, we completely switch to three-wheeler designs. This is the picture you are seeing is a tricycle which we are designed for short-haul mobility. This is pedal assisted. This is at the level of this production ready. So we are trying to rewrite the last mile delivery and mobility solutions with our technologies.
Hari, please unmute yourself, Hari.
Yeah. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, please go on. Please go on.
So see, this is the three-wheeler which we are designed for a 350 kilogram category load capacity. When we designed this, we took a lot of care to bring safety, comfort, reliability, efficiency, performance, and style in this vehicle. If you look at the center of gravity of the vehicle, or if you look at the cargo deck, it is close to the axle of the vehicle. How it is possible is because of the innovations in the trailing arm and the motor design. We have not used the rigid axle systems here. We have used a dual motor technology. Because of all these reasons, we could bring the cargo deck 200 mm below than any other vehicle currently available in the world. I think the pictures are not very explanatory to how deep it is. We can assume it is close to the center of the rear tire. It is that low. Thereby, CG has been drastically lowered when you load it. We made a lot of innovations in the mechanical systems. We designed a suspension which is not hydraulic. These are air shock absorbers. And this is I think we took almost a year and a half to design this air shock absorbers, which gives you amazing level of comfort. And in the headset, we have never used a bearing. We found new engineering materials, which literally saved 1,800 rupees from the bill of materials. And it is easy to operate. You can see that highlighted portion. There is no bearing in the headset. And this innovative suspension system has I think we filed 4 patents on the suspension system, including the valve technology which we designed. This is cost effective than the conventional systems. And this also by avoiding the hydraulic or the fluid inside, and we are using for the brake systems, we are not using the hydraulic brakes. We are using the drum brakes because it is been designed so efficient. Our vehicle stops in 4 meters of braking distance. By avoiding the fluids, we are a completely hydrocarbon-free electric vehicle. We are not using anywhere a bit of hydrocarbon in the vehicle. So the steering system innovation was the use of avoiding the bearings. The suspension system, we have brought in air shock absorbers. Center of gravity is also reduced by lowering the cargo deck. And you can see the conventional car vehicles on the left side and the current design which we are doing with dual motor technology. For this, we designed our own motor which has single side shaft. And then we had this special suspension system we made, allowed us to keep the cargo deck as low as possible to the ground. So this, when moving from single motor technology to dual motor technology, we achieved a weight reduction of 12 kilograms. Your maintenance is simplified. Number of moving parts has been reduced from 12 to 2, just 2 moving parts. Only the 2 motors. Then efficiency improvement just because of less number of moving parts. So all are achieved by doing this engineering change. This is a major engineering change in the 3-wheeler design. You can see the trailing arm is designed so short. Thereby, again, we avoided, we reduced a lot of weight. The suspensions are kept horizontal to get more cargo space. If your suspension or the shock absorber is in the direction or is somewhere coming inside the cargo deck, you can see the lower left picture. The cargo deck is, the green thing is the battery pack, which is inside the chassis. So the cargo deck is as low as possible. Innovations in electrical system, as I earlier told, we've designed our own single-sided hub motors to make sure that whatever I said earlier, to bring in more and more safety to the electric vehicles. Of course, one big advantage of this is we have a lot of space. When you make a passenger vehicle, entire space under the seat is empty. So tomorrow, if you want to convert this to a hydrogen-based fuel cell systems, there is enough space inside the vehicle without even altering a single bolt. You don't need to change any design in the vehicle. Just bring in the fuel cell and the hydrogen tank, fix it under the seat, and your vehicle is ready for the next level of changes in drive systems. Of course, we can have a lot of inventions in the tire design to reduce unsprung mass. Then we a lot of researches happening in the suspensions that can recharge the batteries. In the entire range of drive systems, fuel cell systems, lot of inventions are happening. Various type of electric motors are used. Of course, we are also planning to switch reluctance motor, which do not have magnet in it, to avoid dependency on other countries. We are already started designing this, but how to convert it to a hub motor design is the next challenge, which we have already taken. And in innovations in these, already we have developed our level 2 automation, where the vehicle automatically apply brakes, but it will not come fitted with every vehicle. This will be a stage-by-stage release of new technologies. Slowly, we are also aiming at level 5 automation, which can happen in the next 3 to 4 years down line. The major obstacles being the traffic rules and regulations in India and the overall population, the crowd, the roads. Of course, things will change. Already we have the first level, the level 2 automation, which on request from the customers, we can fit it onto the vehicles. Advanced drive assistance systems is something which we are making to give alert to the driver. These are not part of the self-driving systems which you are creating, but instead of you turning your head around, the vehicle will alert in video screens, in LCD screens, the left and right side of the vehicle. This happens only when I come within the proximity of the vehicle. So unnecessary your cognitive skills should not go into all these IoTs and stuff like that. We should not go. We should focus always on the driving. Of course, innovations in electrochemical systems like battery systems, like hybrid systems with hydrogen as a fuel, battery swapping systems, renewable energy systems. We are also trying to bring in swapping as an option with a battery already in the vehicle and another set of batteries which you can swap, so that the drive range can be increased. So when it comes to Vaidyuti mobility, what are the innovations we have done for the three-wheeler cargo vehicles? We have the first vehicle which has no rollover design. You cannot roll this vehicle, whatever you do. Now we have done it with mechanical designs. Our electronic stability system is under design. I think in next couple of months, we are going to implement electronic stability systems for the three-wheeler so that it can never be toppled under normal conditions. If somebody come and hit and you topple, that is a different reason. Dual motor technology is something different which you are bringing. So even if one motor fails, there is another motor to take you home. That's advantage, big advantage. Power saving torque vector differential. Because we are using two different motors, we designed our own torque vector differential circuit, and we made it in such a way that it can actually save power in the electric vehicle. I think apples to apples comparison, same 1100 watt motor, single motor will take 20 to 30% more power than this dual motor technology. Short trailing arm is another invention which happened, air shock absorbers. Of course, the vehicle sound is very interesting. We designed a wonderful sound for the vehicle, which is not beyond 50 decibels, but the sound is amazing. We are still fine-tuning the sound because it is absolutely quiet. And because there are less moving parts, there is almost zero sound from the vehicle. So we decided to, because I think tomorrow this is going to come as a rule in India. Say, for example, people who are blind or deaf cannot hear, blind who cannot even see what is coming, at least the sound will have to understand that an EV is coming. So vehicle sound generators are being designed here, level 2 driver assistance, and new form factors. This is one form factor which I am showcasing here, but we are creating something completely different. After this video, I will show you what is that we are trying to achieve. This has a speed of 52 km/h. So the next level, I told Vaidyuti Mobility is about trikes. So we have the most fantastic, this what you're seeing is a prototype. The actual design is completely different. This is to just get the dimensional ideas of a trike that cannot be toppled. This is a cargo trike where you can see 25 liters, 20 liters of bottle can be kept. And on the left side picture, he is lifting that seat. Under the seat, he has 48 liters of cargo space. This makes it so agile. This is just the size of a two-wheeler, but can carry a huge amount of payload. This will be a boon to the e-commerce delivery people. And we have new models coming in which have more space than this in the same dimensions. So we are trying to achieve something called a super trike platform, where in which you can have 4 different form factors. One personal trike, one cargo vehicle which has 250 liters of boot space in the same design, the same dimensions. A freezer which has 100 liters of capacity, and a trike taxi where the driver is separated from the passenger who is sitting behind. So these are the 4 different versions which are going to come in the same vehicle. I told you cannot topple this. Let us run this video and show that what is this guy doing while driving the trike. He's trying to topple it. Again, this vehicle has a dual motor system, non-topple design. This has mobility as well as utility when compared to a two-wheeler, which has air shock absorbers. This was the first prototype we designed to understand the overall length and width and dimensions of the vehicle. Our new vehicle is getting ready. I think in a couple of weeks' time, or maybe in the next webinar, about what exactly is the super trike platform and how are the different motors fitted on just a single chassis. Thereby, you are reducing the cost of tooling. We'll have in the next webinar. Moving to infrastructure innovations. Of course, electric vehicles, when it comes in, we need a lot of innovations in infrastructure. The level 1 may be a residential charging, to the level 2 public charging stations, to level 3 fast charging at several places. So these are slowly happening once the number of vehicles goes up. These are not what Vaidyuti Mobility is doing. We are not entering into anything of this sort, but just to add to the innovations which are happening around, I thought I would showcase this as well. But if you talk to me from carbon dioxide reduction versus the level of electrification, finally we land up in battery electric vehicles and fuel cell electric vehicles. And I'm sure, I think in 3 years from now, we'll all be seeing hydrogen-based electric vehicles, which we are ready to roll out. So you can be ready for the next level of safety, comfort, reliability, and performance in electric vehicles with whatever trikes we are manufacturing. I think it's all about what I want to talk to you. Now it is the question and answer sessions. You can please raise your questions and so that I can answer it to you. I have my number and this is a WhatsApp number at the bottom of your screen. You can send messages to me in case if you have more doubts regarding the I cannot completely disclose the technologies, but what can be a technology which we are coming out with the electric vehicles which we are making, with the trikes which we are manufacturing. Thank you so much for listening. Let us go to the question and answers.
So there is a question by Mr. Satish K.
Yeah.
Please see the chat box, sir. It says that what category this.
Yeah. What
Yeah, I
category?
think Mr. Satish can ask the question if you're there.
Yeah, so yeah, good explanation. So in India, as per this ARI, there are certain categories like L1, L2, L3,
Yes.
L4, L7, L5.
Correct.
This strike, what category it comes, and when we actually build it for mass
Correct.
application, is it adhere to our ARI CMware norms?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So the saddest part of ARI, I have to tell that when we took this tricycle, first thing we designed was a tricycle with a motor, pedal assisted motor. We showcased it to ARI and they told, you know, you have to stick on to two categories, either L3 or L5. If you are making a tricycle in L3 and L5 category, it will never become a tricycle. So now we are finding other countries as a market, and of course the huge campuses which are here in India as a market for tricycles. Your question was where the trikes land up. Of course, we are designing following all the rules and regulations for L3 now, and we are putting pressure to the government to approve the high-speed trikes. Because if I bring in tilting mechanism, of course we filed a patent on tilting chassis. If I can bring that, I can make a trike run even at 150 km/h with absolute safety. So we are following L3 category rules and regulations for this trike. So it will come in L3 category. There is some rule change or new addition happening called L2E, which may be supporting these kind of vehicles, which we have to wait and see.
So there's a question by Mr. Sandeep.
Yeah.
What would be strategy for field testing of these products?
The most important point, we have seen a lot of companies are just making, everybody thinks everybody can make electric vehicles, but when it comes to automobile, testing is essential. Without proper testing, you cannot launch a vehicle, because once you fail in the field or on the road, it becomes a disaster. It actually affects the safety of the passenger and the passers who are walking on the side of the roads. So we follow a little more aggressive test. For example, if ARI talks about 12 degrees, we talk about 15 degrees or 16 degrees. Handbrake should not fail at 16, 17 degrees of with full load. If they talk about 90% of the load, we talk about 200% of load. So we do testing. So what happens is the vehicle will be a little more sturdy than you cannot call it as a very optimized design. And particularly in India, when we design a vehicle for 100 kg, people load 200, 250 kg. So considering all those factors of safety, we have designed it a little rugged. And most of the inventions which happen, for example, the air shock absorbers, I don't think in the lifetime we need to change the shock absorbers. I changed my car shock absorber last week. After 5.5 years, it was like terrible. It was a hydraulic shock absorber. Since it is air shock absorbers, it is easy to service. Only very minimal. I think we have only 6 parts inside the shock absorbers compared to say around 12, 13 parts in a normal shock absorber. So testing is very important. You can follow the CMVR for testing, or you can have your own pattern of testing, which actually helps to build your vehicle properly and safely and build on more reliability. Is that a question is that the answer you are expecting, or you are asking something else?
Thank you for answering. That is there. And I think my question again means that was because as you have rightly said that we make the product, but actual validation is done in the field and all that. And now as we know that these vehicles will have very less space, right? They can go into the deep routes and the crowded places. So it becomes more important for us as an engineer or the manufacturer of product that we should do the complete testing validation of these products.
Absolutely.
So that's the question, that how we are thinking and progressing.
Yeah. And when new systems coming, like when we do a lot of innovations, we have to absolutely prove it safe and efficient and reliable. That's also very important. Thank you, Sandeep. More questions?
Sir, there is
Well, I have put it again, another question.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Mr. Abhijit Khatri has asked a question. Going forward, what is direction of standard auto ancillaries of Tier 2 OEMs?
Tough question to answer by me because see, when it comes to EV, number of components are coming down, and I think a lot of OEMs who were in the space of IC engines is moving towards manufacturing parts and components of electric vehicles that actually bring the cost down because of competition building up. At the same time, the quality will improve because I always want to buy the best quality parts and components from, or when I design, I'll make sure that I use the best of the best components. We did a lot of study on the materials which we are using in the electric vehicles. We even tried composite panels to understand, is it better than a pure plastic panel or not? When it comes to automobile, to make it, see, you may be driving a car or a two-wheeler for a long time, but have you seen one bolt falling down from it? It is not. It is all because of the companies doing a lot of thorough testing. And of course, you were asking about components, but I don't know how this is going to take shape. But for sure, EV is at the booming stage. So switching to EV parts and components is always a better choice. Is that the answer you were expecting, or the question was something different?
Yeah, more or less it answers my question. Basically it's the industry is confused because the government policies are not very clear on how and when we would be moving towards to completely electric. So Mr. Gadkari has said that by 2032 we would be moving to completely electric. But with rising fuel prices and when we go completely engineless, so where would all these ancillaries go? So that's what is confusing me.
One insight from one of my friends was very interesting. Let me share that to you. I don't know about international politics, but this is from one of my friends who made me think aloud. He told me, Hari, you know what? The OPEC countries, the oil producing countries, are controlling the whole economics of the world and maybe the automobiles. So I think they only started making profits, the big refineries across the globe, making profit in the last 10, 12 years. And it is huge investment. And they don't want to shut down the whole factory just because EV is coming in. So the possible solution is a hydrocarbon-based fuel or hydrogen taken out from hydrocarbons. So that made me think a lot. And I'm still thinking that is a point which is said rightly, that when big companies, big corporates try to influence the politics of the whole world, we may have to finally settle down with hydrogen as the fuel, which is derived from the hydrocarbons which they are taking from earth or from the refineries or wherever it is. Just a thought. More questions, please.
So there, another question is about hydrogen, sir.
Yeah.
One second, sir. Mr. Mohammed Rashid, he has asked this question. We should think about hydrogen because it is the future fuel. That's much better than electric vehicle.
Hydrogen vehicles are in two different types, like hydrogen-based IC engines and hydrogen-based electric vehicles. More chances are for hydrogen-based electric vehicles because of its advantage of lower emissions of toxic gases when compared to the burning hydrogen in an IC engine. So for sure, I think, like I said earlier, it is a very valid point that refineries kind of, and I also read that the big corporates in India, including GAIL and even Ambani's and Adani's, and a lot of people are investing their money in hydrogen generation. So hydrogen can become a wonderful fuel. I've seen last month we have read the news that a plane has been designed which travel 1 charge of hydrogen, it travels half of the globe distance. So hydrogen is very light in weight when compared to the other fuels. So definitely it is going to be a next level of electric vehicle or a fuel technology for automobiles.
Again, a question from Mr. Sandeep is that is there testing for tractors, or how much India is progressed in this matter? As I'm working in quality for Kubota Escorts.
Tractor is something which is far away from me. I've never ever thought about a tractor design, but seriously, I don't know how to answer this question. I'll find out, and I have my number here. You can just,
I've noted down his number, sir. We'll talk to him.
Yeah, you just send it back. Let me try to find an answer for you in a day's time.
Is the full name Mr. Sandeep Sabharwal? Okay. So there is a question from Mr. Deepak Devasya. Is how is the ground clearance of these vehicles and uphill drive capacity with weight?
If you take Honda City, the ground clearance is 165 mm. If you take any good big car, then why do you want to increase the ground clearance more than that? Is what one question which came. But the design of the humps on our road are so bad; it is not sometimes properly designed, and we have potholes which are deeper than 165 mm. So we kept it as 200 mm ground clearance at most of the places, but closer to the tire, it is a little lower. It's 175 mm ground clearance. Of course, ground clearance is one factor which affects your center of gravity. So we were also trying to reduce the ground clearance as low as possible. But taking Indian conditions, we kept it at 200 mm ground clearance for all the vehicles which you are designing.
Sir, one question from Mr. Bevin. Tom.
Okay.
What will be the next generation, next battery technology after a lithium-ion battery?
Every day we can see a lot of inventions happening in the field of lithium-ion. Now we are hearing about sodium-ion. We are talking about graphene batteries. We are talking about see, this technology keep evolving. I don't think I'm good to talk about because it's all electrochemical, it's all chemical reactions and chemistry and all these things. Of course, what battery we need, I can very clearly tell. A battery which is absolutely safe, working in conditions from -40 to +60 degrees centigrade, which has a capacity to recharge in a minute, which has a life of at least 10 years. This may be an ideal battery for it, because nowadays we are not using vehicles for not more than 5 to 6 years. But I have sat personally in a vehicle, Bajaj Auto Rickshaw, which I thought a brand new vehicle, but which driver told it is 17-year-old vehicle. So people are using it for very long years. So taking that into consideration, at least 10 years should be the life, if we can get, will be an ideal battery. And then technology changes, the size of the battery also comes down. When we move to hydrogen, you don't need a big battery pack. You need only 1/4 the size of a battery, maybe much smaller, because I had some, I forgot the car company. It's a big sedan kind of a car, which has only 1.5 kilowatt hour of battery pack. And it is hydrogen based. So we don't need big battery packs when it comes to hydrogen. So there also but again, when you charge and discharge a battery pack, it has more life than a cyclic usage, like you discharge it and then charge. We are using our cars or our two-wheelers every day. Not electric, the IC engine vehicles, we replace the battery once in 4 or 5 years. It is just because the charging is also happening at the time of discharging. But in electric vehicles, so we also recommend to the customers, when I was making the wheelchairs, or when now making electric automobiles, I always recommend charge it whenever it is possible, so that you are not stressing the battery as well as the battery charger. So technology will evolve. Tomorrow, I think we will get our dream battery packs, which only with a lot of background of chemistry can tell you in detail. But you cannot even, inventions happen all on a sudden. All on a sudden, somebody will come out with. We heard about this aluminium batteries and all. I mean, that's a fuel cell, in fact. So all these are happening. But an ideal battery, if, as a manufacturer, I want it like that. Somebody will bring it, sure. More questions?
Mr. Samson Mathai says electric trikes should be urgently approved in India. Otherwise, India's EV claims are a joke. Mr.
We are putting our effort because if you look at statistics of Indian accident death, 25% of the accident deaths are just because of using two-wheelers. So when I'm bringing down to maybe because of the balancing is an act of circus. So you actually balance in a two-wheeler. If slight, I have seen 4 accidents in front of me, and 2 people died on the spot. He's trying to cross. One accident was very recently. He's just trying to overtake a vehicle. His side view mirror hit the vehicle which was coming in the opposite direction. Vehicle fell down, died there itself. It will never happen with a trike because we have 3 wheels and we are bringing technology that makes it so stable on the road. Yes, we are trying our level best to get it approved.
Okay. Ankit Tyagi, as we are progressing with technology, what are your views on incorporating the connected technology, IoT, artificial intelligence, etc.?
Correct. I'm an old school. If you ask me, do you want a complete, colorful, big screen which distract your attention from driving to the vehicle? No, I'm against that. So in our vehicle, I'm very clear, we will have 2 screens. One screen will show only your speedo, odo, distance, GMT, and maybe a trip meter and the battery. Beyond that, nothing. And the second screen will switch on only when you are trying to switch off the vehicle. This pops up if there is an error or a message from the dealer or any alerts to the customer. This is how we are redoing it. So I am against, of course, technology improvement in IoT is amazing because even before your vehicle know that it is going to fail, the manufacturers know that, okay, there is a problem either in the motor, controllers, drive system, whatever it is. That is possible. And it is, sometimes people tell it is infringing the privacy. But at the same point, it has this the advantage of knowing the vehicle. It is like if your body is monitored every moment, you know whether you get a corona or not in the next 2 days or not. So you can take a precaution. In the same way, IoTs can help in bringing, or artificial intelligence can bring in vehicles which absolutely take care of you. Even if you suppose you fall asleep, your eyes got closed, or you distracted due to some reason, you're distracted from the road, and vehicle is going to hit somewhere. Vehicle know it is going to hit. The intelligence of the vehicle can protect you from a possible accident. For example, our stability control system know when the wheel lifts up from the vehicle, so that it will bring the vehicle down. So intelligence plays a major role. Like Elon Musk, I don't know who said it. We are actually going to drive an artificially intelligent automobile than just an automobile. So some mistakes from our side will be taken care by the vehicle to protect you and the vehicle. This is of course going to come. And when it comes to level 5 automation, self-driving vehicles are going to be amazing.
Sir, Europe is also moving to hydrogen cells. Does that mean having hybrid both electric and engine together?
We all expected that may be the interim solution, but the converting, I'm again against converting an existing IC engine to a electric vehicle or making it a hybrid, or you have to design a vehicle for hybrid systems. Like you can have a very small engine, generating electricity to recharge the battery, to make the efficiency of the engine 100% more than the existing, reducing the pollution to 1/3. That is a possible solution. But just changing the existing vehicle, you take a two-wheeler IC engine, putting battery motor and making it hybrid, I'm against, because it may pollute more than if you take the whole, the weight will increase. So naturally the pollution may increase when you try to convert it, and the cost also will increase. And these IC engine vehicles are designed for accommodating an IC engine and run at a particular speed. When you make it is easier to make a new hybrid electric vehicle than converting it to hybrid or to retrofit or changing the vehicle existing to hybrid. But pure hybrids are always welcome. It is very with a small engine which has less pollution. This is all happening. I mean, hybrids are already there.
So what is the weight pulling capacity while going uphill? As in India, especially states like Kerala, there are a lot of uphill.
Correct. I told you earlier that when we test the vehicle, we look at more stricter tests than what ARI specifies. So when they talk about 12-degree gradability, we will try 15, 16 degrees. But there are certain grades which you cannot climb with any vehicle. The only possible way is to increase the motor power, or then we have to fall in the category. So bringing the category and the motor size and the vehicle size, what we ideally did by doing a tri case, L3 we can go up to 2000 watt peak. But L3, if you look overall vehicle, the vehicle may have a weight of 250 to 350 kilograms. Plus we have a capacity of driver plus 340 kilograms. So putting all together, the GVW can vary from 650 kilograms to 750 kilograms with a 1100 or 1200 watt motor, nominal power. What we did is we made a vehicle which has a weight of only 115 kilograms. There you can add, so now you have enormous extra power to take you to climb uphill, like you said, 15, 17, 18 degrees up. We already tested it. So the vehicle, when the weight comes down and the form factors make it so aerodynamic, it can actually do wonders.
Okay. So the other thing is that are these vehicles ready for a racetrack?
Racetrack?
Yeah.
Electric racing, EV racing, Formula E is already there. I think Mahindra was the champions a couple of years back. Or in third position, I'm not remembering exactly. But EV racing is there already. Yeah, it is time. We have a lot of time ahead to design wonderful.
So when are you commercially launching the vehicle?
Our vehicles is 6 months away from launch. We are actually looking.
Another question is, what are the innovations possible on automobile parts of a EV?
Yeah, actually, that is where we should really invest our thought into. See, when now the moment when EV comes in, we are all started talking about efficiency in a big way. Petrol was available everywhere. We didn't care if you carry 4 people in your car instead of you single traveling. But now when it comes to EV, you always think about, I only travel because I want to have maximum drive range. Everybody know that when weight increases, drive range comes down to some extent. So weight of a vehicle is also very important. In that sense, every part we have to, that is where we did a lot of engineering to reduce the size of each and every. You should see the shock absorber is so sleek. Everywhere we are reducing the weight. So when we make parts, definitely there can be much stronger materials, lighter material than plastic, but of course cost has to be under consideration. Motor can be light in weight, battery can be light in weight, at the same time with higher energy density. Motor can be, even though when it is light in weight, if you can give more power, more torque at the same space, then like what we did, we avoided the complete differential heavy weight, 12 kilogram, just removed by removing the center axle and the differential gearbox and all those stuff. Then finding out new material for flooring and the roof. These are all possible, but I don't know how good India is into the innovation side of all these things. If you look at most of the manufacturers, they were close to what they were selling as IC engine vehicles. They have made exactly the same design. Maybe they come out with wonderful designs, because the scope of innovations in making a vehicle as such is so huge in when it comes to EV technology. So a lot of scope in parts and components. We can talk about much better, lighter materials of motor casing. Maybe I don't know if there is a better material than copper, and still reduces the cost of maybe at least at par with the cost of what we are getting.
Possible on the brake side, sir.
In the brake side, I mean, everywhere you can innovate. You can have another kind of, drum brakes move towards disc, now towards something else. In fact, we have a switch-based, parking brake system. We completely avoided the parking brake lever. But you know what? When we went to ARI, you need a lever. So we are forced to put a lever there. Our vehicle, you park at full load at 17 degree angle, it will not come down with the switch. And it is not a pole parking or anything. It's a completely different electronic technology which we have done on our vehicle. So these kind of, so if I avoid a handbrake, the cables and all those, I reduce the weight by at least 500 grams, 600 grams with, and I reduce my time to assemble it. I reduced a part as such. I reduce the bill of materials, but it's not possible with our existing laws and regulations. So maybe we have to follow the rules and regulations and stick on, then ask them to prove them that these are better technologies which we can adopt onto electric vehicles. So a lot of scope of innovations in materials for each and every part of tire can be completely redesigned. I think Michelin has come out with a tire which you don't need to inflate, which will reduce unsprung mass. That will again, every kilogram reduced will add on to your drive range, finally. Yes.
Okay. Any more questions, please? Okay. Thank you, participants, for joining this webinar. And even though we have not met at all, it was a great pleasure that you accepted our invitation, our request, and then joined us. Friends, there is a form which we have submitted in the chat box. We request you to, we request you to just fill that form and submit it. Friends, we are also going to start a three-wheeler and a two-wheeler and a three-wheeler cargo training program. We will be launching that very shortly in Bangalore and in Kerala, with the support of industries. We are going to do that. We have almost got most of the components and all that. There will be a lot of industry participation. My humble request is that please fill the form so that we can reach you with the course. Our course material, etc., all is ready. We would be launching this course in the midweek of March. So this we are, as you have understood, the innovations possible, and learning these innovations training your employees to these innovations, gearing up to these innovations makes a lot of sense. I thank all of you friends for joining us. Thank you, Mr. Hari, for joining us, to making this time off and spending, showing all the innovations personally done by you in the company.
Thank you so much, Rajiv. Thank you so much, all those who have joined. Looking forward, see you again in the next level seminars, webinars, which we take on the SuperTribe platform. Hope by the time we launch the product, we'll be all familiar with what we are doing. Thank you so much once again for participating.
Thank you. So I really, if anybody has any feedback about the program, you may open your camera and say what liked it, didn't like it, whatever you want, what part you liked best, and you can also leave messages in the chat box. Did we meet your expectations?
Yes. Am I audible?
Yes, Mr. George.
Yeah. Thanks to the whole team who arranged for this special talk, and Hari sir for an innovative, and enlightening us on the innovativeness that he had been doing for the last several years. It was very, very informative, and we congratulate and thank him for revealing his thought process. And we could see a great innovator, and from the beginning itself.
Thank you, sir.
So it was very inspiring, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And we also would like to get maybe another edition of your talk, Sir Hari sir, when you launch this your series of vehicles in the future.
Thank you so much, sir.
Can you leave with us your number, sir, if you don't mind?
You mean the participants?
No, sir. Yeah, your contact number, sir, if you don't mind.
Yeah. I'll just chat it, type it here in the chat.
Yes, sir.
And please invite us also in the future, because it's first time I'm attending your institute's thing, and we don't know anything about your institute. Could you please type in the contact details of your institute or a website, etc.?
So my name is TK Rajiv.
Okay.
My name is TK Rajiv, and my number is 721-781-3975. That's my WhatsApp number, and this is my website. I shall be obliged if you can leave with us your number.
Yeah, I've just given my name and number.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Hello. Good morning, Rajuji.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, good morning. I'm Suryanarayan Rao.
Oh, how are you, sir? Long time.
Yes. So, yeah. So, what I was looking from you is you said that you will be starting the course on this electrical vehicle, two-wheeler and three-wheeler. What's the duration of the course?
So they will be from 30 days to 6 months.
And what is the fees? Probable fees for it?
Fees will be ranging from almost 16,000 to a lakh.
Okay. And entry qualification?
Again, it will be from 10th standard to BTech.
Okay. So for BTech, it will be added advantage for them.
Yes, sir.
Because they will be knowing many things while they are studying the engineering.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So it's good. Huh? So I'll keep in touch with you.
Yes, sir.
And it was a nice session.
Thanks, sir.
And I wanted to ask the maintenance part of these vehicles. If Hari is there.
Yeah.
The maintenance part of these vehicles.
See, if you look at, I've told we have taken off lot of, it's like the whole vehicle has to weigh less. So wherever possible, we innovate, like we remove the bearings. Actually, bearings were almost 320 grams per bearing. We have replaced with a modern engineering which is only 25 grams. So instead of 650 grams, we have brought it down to just 50 or 20 grams. Then by this, we are actually reducing the maintenance also, because this part removal and fixing is so easy. And this material has a lot of, in fact, in the whole webinar, I was concealing or not disclosing most of the technology. I was only talking about what we have done. What is inside, I have not talked, because it's all in confidential form. So I couldn't disclose it. But when we bring down number of parts, naturally we are bringing down the maintenance charges, maintenance cost, everything is brought down.
So one more thing, Mr. Hari, I am from MIT Institute of Design. I'm heading the Makerspace, Pune.
Yeah.
So you have done your MTech in product design and manufacture. From which institute?
This is from Visvesvaraya Technology University. And I studied in a college named KVG College of Engineering, Sulia, some time back. I think.
So normally we give only product design. Then the product design and manufacture is an added advantage.
Correct.
Yeah, it's an advantage. So
yeah.
So whenever I come, I'll visit you.
Please.
I'm in touch with Raju, sir.
Sure.
So it was so nice to elaborate many things of electrical vehicle, which
thank you so much.
I was not knowing.
Great to hear from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Raju, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. So I'll be in touch with you. Huh?
Yeah. We should. I think talking after 2 years.
Yeah, maybe. Yes. Yeah. I got the contact from Mr. Subhash.
Okay.
That's why it was nice.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you. Tom, sir, your number, sir?
My number?
Yes, sir.
966 501 4542.
4542.
Yeah. I repeat, 966 501 4542.
4542. Okay, sir.
It's good. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
So thank you so much. Thank you all. So let us be in touch. So Tom, sir, you're from some college, sir?
What is that?
Pardon?
You're Tom, sir, are you from a college?
Not really.
Okay.
No, not really. I'm a professional in Bangalore.
Okay.
Oh, you're in Bangalore only?
Yep.
Okay,
Come down, have a look at what we're doing. If anybody in Bangalore, most welcome.
So we'll be in touch. We got the contact numbers. Sure. We'll be in touch. Sure. So thank you.
Okay.
I'm not into e-vehicle. I'm into renewable energy, solar PV. So that's why I was just interested to know more about this. Thanks.
Right, sir. Thank you all. So let us be in touch. We are closing the meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you very much.